Welcome back, everybody. Now, here's a shocker. Republicans are refusing to budge an inch in budget negotiations. You don't say. Well, with Democrats and Republicans battling over whether to extend the government's debt limit and trim budget deficits, negotiations are being complicated by disputes over basic economic facts. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because the Republicans are lying on purpose about those facts. Now, I'm not just saying that. We're going to show you. We're going to prove it to you. For example, John Boehner's speech on Monday, he said this.
The recent stimulus spending binge, frankly, hurt our economy and hampered private sector job creation in our country.
Not remotely true. The CBO finds that the stimulus put between 1.4 and 3.3 million people back to work and cut the unemployment rate by as much as 1.8%. That is what economists agree on. There aren't almost any economists out there saying, oh, no. We did the stimulus and it actually cost us jobs. There is no such theory. John Boehner made it up. He also made this up.
And we will never have real economic growth if we're going to raise taxes on those in America who create jobs.
Now, under Clinton, the economy grew by an average of nearly 4% a year. Now, remember, we had much higher rates at that time. Actually, they weren't much higher. They were a little higher. And guess what happened? 22 million jobs were created. What resulted was the largest economic expansion in history. So they say, well, you can't raise rates. If you raise rates on the job creators, we won't have any jobs. You'd have to be unconscious the entire decade of the 90s to believe that. You can't possibly think that they just missed the decade of the 90s. Oh, 22 million jobs were created under the Clinton rates? Whoopsie doopsie. They know they're not telling the truth. And then you've got another doozy by Boehner.
It's possible to make changes in a way that will ensure future beneficiaries will have access to the same kinds of options that members of Congress currently have.
They just keep saying that. I'm amazed by it. Not remotely true. Here's the reality. Under the Ryan plan, by 2030, the government would cover only 32% of the average 65-year-old's health care costs. In comparison, the government covers 75% of health care costs for the average member of Congress. Look, these are not matters of opinion. These are facts. Either the speaker is ignorant and he has no idea what the facts are, or he's purposely misleading you. And what's worse is why. It's because they don't care about you. They care about their donors. You're pawns to be manipulated. What they want to do is get you to believe things that aren't true so they can do what's right for their donors, whether it's the big insurance companies, the big oil companies, the big banks. Those are the guys who pay people like John Boehner. And that's why John Boehner and those Republicans who say things that are demonstrably false are not honest actors, and we shouldn't treat them as such.